Hey everyone, this is Felicia with The Book is Done. I am on a roll doing these back-to-back book reviews. I know by the end of this week, I'm probably going to have at least 3 more to talk about, as I'll probably finish them up within the next day or two. But I love it. So this one that I'm getting ready to talk about, Hidden by Kendra Elliot. This is the first of the Bone Secrets novel series. I believe she has like 5 more, maybe 4, at least 4 after this. I have all of them except one. I'm missing the 4th one. So it's a total of 5 within this Bone Secrets novel series that she has going on. I came across this book in a, book sale, county-wide book sale that I went to and got it for like $1 and some change. Super geeked about it. So I was like, since it's $1, I might as well, and I see all of them here, might as well just buy all of them, see what it's about. If it's good, I'll like it, I'll continue reading, but if not, I'll just stop at this first one. So this book right here, Hidden, was actually really, really good. It came out not super long ago. It came out in 2012. But let me see. I can't see it from here. I want to say the one after this one is called Chilled. But this one is called Hidden. It's based in Oregon. And let me see. Triggers. Any triggers in this book? Off the top of my head, no, not really. I don't believe. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. But in all things, off the top of my head, there's no triggers or anything like that. But what this book is talking about, it started out 11 years ago. There was this person, we'll just say a gentleman, who was deemed as the co-ed slayer. So the co-ed slayer came from this university where the main character, Lacey, another character, Suzanne, they were all female college students at Oregon State University, and they ironically were on the they were gymnasts for the school. And so Lacey wasn't murdered, but Suzanne was. Lacey knew Suzanne, of course, because they were on the same team. Lacey Campbell was one of the ones who had gotten away. And so Suzanne's body was never found. And so it's like years later, Lacey is like this really well-known forensic odontologist. Basically, she analyzes teeth and bones for the state medical examiner, who is her father. And so doing a job like normal, and one day she gets a call from another forensic odontologist, and they were like, we need you here on the scene. We just found something. Lo and behold, it was bones of her friend Suzanne. And so have no idea, super out the blue, don't know why and where, and just don't know. And so Lacey is just like, she's just thrown off her whole rocker. She's devastated because it's her best friend. And after 11 years, her remains have finally been revealed. Still seems kind of crazy, though, that it just magically pops up. So she takes comfort in this gentleman who is there. He is actually the owner he's like the property manager, not really a property manager, but he owns the apartment building in which the remains were found. His name is Jack Harper, who was an ex-cop. And so around the time when the murders happened, he was a cop, but I don't believe that he was on this particular case. And so Lacey, Lacey kind of takes a liking to him, and he takes a liking to her. This, I will say, sidebar, this is the first, I guess they call it romance suspense novels or suspense romance novels. I'm not a fan, okay? Not a fan. After reading this, I was just like, I understand if somebody's interested in the other person, if it's a fling or even if a relationship comes out of it, great, cool, wonderful. But it shouldn't be like half the book. Like to me, and this is just me, is other people may love it, just me. I want all of the psychological stuff. To me, you can't have gory stuff like somebody's head get cut off and then somebody is, being flipped upside down, getting it on because they were just in the heat of the moment. Like that, just keep them separate, okay? If it's a romance book, keep it over there. If it's a thriller, suspense, mystery, murder, all of that, keep it over there. Don't bring it together. I mean, you can bring it together, just don't take away from the book. Like it just took away. It took me. This was almost a DNF, do not or DNR book, do not read book. It took me a minute to kind of get into it. I had to push through the whole romance part. I don't want the little details and all of that. She took off her shirt and I can't say the words, but I don't need you to be very descriptive. If they're attracted to each other, cool. If not, cool. Just get to the story so we can all find out who the murderer is. And so, back to the story. Lacey and Jack. Lacey is running from it because she was previously married to this man, and he was very abusive. He was verbally abusive and then ultimately was physically abusive. And then in part, she got a divorce from him. And so one of Lacey's good friends, her name is Michael. He's like a journalist, but I think at one point they dated and it didn't work out, but now they're like super, super close, like a brother-sister type relationship. And so Michael is like very protective over her. He, in a sense, a reason why Lacey and Michael, this was of course after she got divorced from her first husband. The reason why Lacey and Michael didn't work out was because he pretty much was like a free bird, just a free spirit. He just didn't want to be tied down, if you will. And she was just like, I want to have a family. Like, I just got divorced, I'm not about traveling the world and all of that. I just want to be settled. Michael was like, I'm not with it. So they just split up, but they're still cool. So different things starts to happen as to where different pieces of evidence pops up around town. I want to say Suzanne's necklace that pops up along with the ID of another police officer. And like all of these pieces of evidence that comes up was of people who had been killed or the killer was getting ready to kill them. So, and then they all just so happened to be on the case of when the co-ed slayer was on trial. So they did catch the co-ed slayer. They knew who he was, put him on trial. I think he was in prison for life or something. He ended up dying in prison. And so this was like a few years before, maybe like 3 or 4 years before all of this stuff just started popping up again. And they were just like, how is this even possible? Like, this man is dead. Like, the co-ed slayer is dead. How are these murders popping up? And so in all things, the killer was coming after Lacey because she was the one who got away. But it was just like, okay, who is this person? Like, where is this coming from? And so I gave you over 50% of the book. So you just have to read it. You just have to read it. It like I said, if you are into that whole romance, suspense type psychological thriller to AAA, you go ahead. For me, it was a no-go for me. So I think I'm not going to have that take away from the book. I would say that this book was like a strong 3. Strong 3. Anything that's like a 3 and up, if they have something after it, I'll read another book. So I do have the second book. I truly believe that it's called Chilled by Kendra, Elliot. Am I in a big rush to read it? Kind of like Jennifer Hillier's books. Like as soon as I read the book, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm instantly going for another book of hers. It's not like that. It's just me having to build up mentally like, okay, this is a suspense, romance, suspense. I got to figure out the term for it. I'm sorry. But this is a suspense book that has romance in it. Do I feel like reading that? Do I not? But in all things, good book. Um, it's a good book. That's all I can say. Go check it out. Hidden by Kendra Elliot. It is a series. Definitely go check it out. The book that's next, that book is done. But the next one is Sometimes I Lie. So you have to check out the next video to see what I'm talking about. Have a good night.